Hi, today is January 22nd, 2025, and I just want to talk about things that I think about, and I want this to be an outlet for myself. I did want to record this the 20th, but we're 2 days later. It's been a whole 24 hours 24 hours plus where Trump has been president, and Trump is the first criminal on paper to be a president. I want us to think about the 2028 election already. And I also want us to think about a world where all the Bitcoin is mined. I don't want us to wait last minute for this stuff where when the last bit of Bitcoin is gonna be mined, we implement these policies, and I don't know how human emotion is gonna be during this period because I thought all the Bitcoin was gonna be mined when I was dead, but it seems like with quantum stuff that all the Bitcoin could be mined in our lifetime. And that basically means I want us also to think about stuff that's gonna happen between here and the next election, but let's also think about what we want for the next election. Trump is doing stuff that he's been promising. He's been promising for all this stuff, and I hope that you guys voted. I really hope people voted. There will always be a new president. I am scared of, because I'm not religious, but I'm also scared that he didn't put his hand on the Bible. Like, I think you could swear on anything. It doesn't have to be the Bible. But like swear on a Pokemon card or a sports card. Like swear on something. It doesn't have to be the Bible, but I didn't know that he didn't put his hand on the thing, and I was kind of thinking like, oh, he's not gonna change the Constitution. And then there was someone else under his party where someone asked her where if Trump were to stay longer than he's supposed to, and then her response was only if he changes the Constitution. And with the 14th Amendment, I think that if you change something, like the Constitution has been there. There are flaws. I can't point them out, but there are flaws in the Constitution. And bringing up, maybe even doing it, changing the Constitution. Um, damn, it's kind of scary because America was built off that, and laws are also fixed on that, I think. And also with Trump, something that I didn't enjoy was that people appointed by him or their party were saying like, I cannot speak for Trump, I cannot talk ahead of Trump. But when I was writing all this down, the 20th, or even before the 20th, he was basically already he was already president, and I want them to do their job where they can't hide behind this. Oh, will he become president? Will he not become president? He's here. He's taking action. And these people? How will these people be? What do you call it? How will we handle their mistakes? And also do your job because you cannot speak for him. He's president now. So do you guys not talk? But it's always that. It's so childish. Like these these hearings. Like it's important to see them act, but like grow up a little bit. And also with American politics, I feel like we're so self-centered that we want one of our head of the party, whether it's left or right, to take credit for what is done in Gaza or Ukraine. And also on this, that Trump didn't stop the Ukraine war in 24 hours. we understand that it doesn't take 24 hours, but that's also something. It's also a little bit of something. Because there was a job that I was at. I was only there for about 2 months, but there was this manager that's been there for a while, and he was saying someone was buying the company. I guess the manager and the new buyer had a conversation, and he said that he wouldn't change anything. But we came to find out that he was changing the company's name. And me, for someone that wasn't really there, I didn't care about the company name. I don't really remember the name, but but changing the name is something so little, but it can mean so much too. And not being able to complete the the 24-hour mark. None of us expected it to happen. Maybe we don't even want it to happen. But it's just something little that will add up in the future. Uh, the Ukraine and Gaza, that we want people to take credit, but who are the people in those nations that people will look up to, and who are those people that will bring this nation up from the rubble, because that is so, like, there has been no war close to the US. We do not experience any of it. We just experience it because of the technology that we have, but we do not experience it. And that will also get to the Gaza, not Gaza, sorry, the fires and all the stuff that has happened between the first and the 20th, even though it's the 22nd. And also for the Ukraine war, North Koreans have sent out untrained soldiers, and I feel like these countries have basically unlimited soldiers. It's not where the US, where people are praised to be in the army, and we should respect them. But in other countries, they're not praised as we praise them. It's something that it's lawful. I think it's lawful. You have to go to the army, and these countries have basically unlimited resources, people, blank, 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 to send out. And I feel like with the Ukraine war, we're seeing, is it possible to attack Russia during the winter? And with the drones, it is modern warfare. I think that people are sent out to test out how do these people use their equipment. What are tactics that we can improve on? Because I think one of the tactics for the drone was to separate, someone take lead, so that the drone could track them, and then with everyone spread out, it's harder to kill people all at once, and then they just shoot down the drone. There was one guy swinging his rifle against the drone. He probably had bullets, but he used his gun to swing it, and it tried to hit the drone. And with that, I don't know if he survived, because there were so many videos of that, but the video just cuts off. The video just cuts off, and for me, like, somehow I still think that it's fake. Like, oh, like, did that actually happen? Did he actually get blown up to pieces? And that shit does happen. It is happening. They're sending these untrained soldiers to see what tactics and what can be improved on. TikTok was also banned, and I didn't update that it was unbanned, because the TikTok ban happened. How are people going to prepare for it again if it does happen? Yeah. And I was also asking, was the TikTok ban always supposed to be for the January 29th? No, sorry, January 19th? Because that is such a clusterfuck. Like, was it always set for January 19th, the last day? And then who even cares if it was Biden or Trump that saved it, that didn't save it? Same with kind of the Ukraine, like people say that it's free speech, but then you also have basically kind of free speech in these other platforms. As much as people were saying that, oh, TikTok does as much bad as these other American companies, but I think the badness of it, the badness, I think the shittiness of it is that we know that we are the product, that our data is the thing that drives everything. Our data is so valuable, but we decide it's either Pepsi, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Wendy's. Like, it's not whether we want to share our data, it's to what company we kind of want to share it to. Because with TikTok and Facebook and all that, like, they have neuroscientists that basically want to suck out every little microsecond of your time, because every little microsecond does add up, and we are not capable of perceiving microseconds. So it's basically seconds and seconds that add up. Same with the TikTok ban. Why was Jimmy Carter's funeral? Why did the stock market close on his funeral? I understand that all these high level people had to attend his funeral, but why did America have to stop for his funeral? Biden might be next. Like, with all the presidents, previous presidents there, Biden looks like he's the next one. We all know he was old as hell. uh, but will we care if it will be Trump or Biden next? Will we care about their funeral? Jimmy Carter's dead, and the reason I'm kind of not I am affected by that closing of the market of that day, because that little date, I forget when it was, but it was like such a valuable moment to understand where the market was actually going, and having it close was like, it fucked up over the retail investor. And when was it decided? When was his death decided to be there? Like, it was just already on my Google calendar. I didn't know it was. Was it always planned? Wasn't he dead for a while, too? I don't know. And it's also ironic that Trump became president on the day of Martin Luther King's death. Was it his death? I'm not even sure, honestly. But having it fall on the same date is ironic, just like with all these other things that I said. But kind of same with New Year's, like we put so much on this time and date, but it's tradition and it's always good. And same with sorry, I forgot about this. January 1st, having these attacks. I had my opinions on the attacks even before I saw the attacks. I feel that it could just be me, that maybe it's all of us, that we have these opinions even before seeing the video. I didn't see people almost get hit and then the video cut off right before their body goes flying. But even before I saw those videos, I had my opinions on it. I kind of forgot what they were because it was 2 weeks ago, honestly. And same what has happened between the 1st and 20th. I've had my opinions on the fires. Even though I've only seen the aftermath of the fires, I didn't experience the high winds that happened during the fires. But I already had my opinions. And same with hurricanes. We can say it and prepare as much as we want, but I'm scared. I'm scared of black ice, where especially on a highway, having black ice on a highway. Let's say there's a pile up. That shit is scary. We experience winter so much. We prepare as much as possible, but black ice still happens, and people die every year because of it. Because it happens. Like we can prepare as much water, as much sand dunes as we want, but shit happens, and it always has happened because something about these plants thriving during the fires or after the fires. Like they've evolved to withstand this shit. And because we plot out lines of our of the area of our house. I don't know. And that Mother Nature happens no matter how hard you prepare. We prepare. More about the fires. This is one of the most expensive fires that we've known. Houses were lost, cars were lost, NFT collectibles were lost. And with the NFTs, like how does this connect with NFTs? I don't see the implement there yet, but in the future, maybe. And I think cloud seeding has already been done in California. I'm not sure. There already has to be clouds in the air. But there will always be clouds in the air, maybe. I don't know. But cloud seeding also does cause mudslides. And if we were to bring the water from the ocean to the hills or mountains, we would salt the earth, and that's also bad. And even deforesting the plants would affect the ecosystem. And also that some plants have adapted to flourish after fires. And I have my opinions about the fires, and then the winds. Maybe it's seasonal. I don't know if there's like a fire season and a hurricane season. But if the fires are growing 5 football fields per minute, that is 5 football fields. I've never been to a football. I don't know how big, but that's fucking a lot. That's a lot. And how could you do that? Even with the water hose. Even with maybe fire hydrants. I don't know. And would it be cheaper to play with Mother Nature, or would it be cheaper to build 20th century water tanks in those areas? And the only reason that we don't desalt water is because I think it's because it's cheaper to bring water from Fiji to your retail store, and any retail store that you enter basically. It's cheaper to bring water from there and exporting it than to manufacture facilities where water is desalted. And also, what are the physics of water pressure in a fire hydrant? What are the physics of water pressure in a fire hydrant? Can we build things underground so we don't have electricity overhead? Would it be cheaper long term to implement stuff underground? And I was also thinking about how in these airports and factories or warehouses they have these AI systems where they detect fires, and they have these hoses that just spray out water when it's detected. Like is there a world where that's possible? I understand that the winds are fucking crazy. Like I never knew California could be like that windy. But would having cameras all around our backyards be more beneficial than our privacy? Where was I? Wait, I don't want to know this. Is there hurricane season type for fires? And then earthquakes. Some people will be able to rebuild their own house. You guys, property always goes up. You pay insurance just in case. What happen? Oh my god. Some people will be able to rebuild their houses, and some people have owned that house for decades. They didn't spend as much. It was worth this much on paper. They don't have insurance. How does that affect stuff? Um, and wasn't it always the American dream to have this property where you have this property, you want it to go up, and that's basically what the world does. That's basically what the world only does: go up, stock market, real estate, whatever. It only goes up. We expect it to only go up, and we pay this insurance for just in case we are that one person that shit does happen to. We have this American dream to have this house. We pay insurance on it just in case we are the ones. We never want to be the ones, but we pay insurance just in case that one day does happen. And it can save $4 million on paper, but do you have the $4 million to rebuild it? You still own a lot. You still own the lot, but how does owning a lot, let's say in California, how does that affect it when it's underground? There, I don't know how bad California could go underwater. We may be able to artificially do shit to protect Florida, but if water consume does consume it, do the coordinates still belong to you, even if there's no land anymore? Um, I remember watching a video of a lady where her neighbor house got burned down. She was an attorney, and I'm just wondering if her insurance got canceled, because people that know what they're doing, they're able to fight back, and if they have the ability to fight back, then maybe they were insured. But not everyone does have that ability. But we could all have that ability. But that will also cost money. Um, there will always be someone uninsured, underinsured, and why would a company want to overinsure someone? Like, you could pay more to be overinsured, but ultimately, why would the company want to take the risk on that person? How? And they will never tell you if you are underinsured. And to stay up to date on how much you pay and how much you're rewarded, I think you have to stay up to date. And with the Palisades fires, that the insurances got their insurance got canceled. These companies have the data of past events, maybe even future events, and they predict you're not worth insuring. You are worth insuring, and they have this data all the way down to where you live. Because housing is the only market where people will always need a house. People will always need a house. Whether you're homeless, people would rather build you a house than you be outside. And I'm pretty sure that that's also insured. If you were to build a hotel or a sanctuary, I don't know if that's the right word. There will always need to be insurance on where you live, and the insurance has data on whether where you sleep is worth it or not. There's even an insurance company where they can plot out, they can render your house, and I think they were also able to simulate your house in different environments. Yeah, like being able to render your house, like that is so. There will be a one to one Earth replica of Earth, maybe. I don't know. Maybe one day. Um, but they're able to simulate your house in different environments, and they can use that data to update your policy, I guess. And also, I want to talk about Canada because it's only been 22 days now, basically, but the 20th. Let's pretend it's the 20th. Canada's our neighbor, and I didn't know it was that bad. That he had to resign. I don't know his name, but he's our neighbor. I didn't know Canada was going through all that, but they're our neighbors, and we heard stuff about Canada, but we didn't truly pay attention to what was happening in Canada. And with Canada, I don't know if it's true, but that most of their population is like close to the south end of Canada, where most of it is inhabitable. Like it's such a big amount of property, but I don't know if most people live. I think most people do live on the south area. What? Canada's exports are like oil and like natural resources. Kind of like also the place that's building the wall, that big ass line across the desert. I think their export is also natural resources, so they're trying to expand and bring tourists. And for Greenland is a lot smaller than we make it out to be. Where we can never have a perfect map of the Earth, but that it expands much larger than what it actually is. Like Greenland is important. It is not that it's not as big as we think it is, and the population is pretty small, honestly. So small that I think you can ask every single person in Greenland what their opinion is. Like that's how small the population is. Like on what they would want. And same with the location. Like it is much smaller than we think it is, and it's so much closer to Russia than we think it is. Um, People were saying that it's not a country. No, people are saying that it's currently not a world where we can buy a country, overtake a country, or where countries evolve or de-evolve. Cause I don't know. I don't know if this is good. But the trade routes right there, the defense something. We'll see about that shit. But if we are in a world where shit like that does happen, like barbaric shit, then why do we have militaries? Why do countries have militaries? It can help people in like natural disasters, but why also we have militaries to defend our nation if we are supposed to be not in that era anymore? But and maybe our lifetime is one of the safest right now compared to previous lifetimes. The F, the CES, what? SEC, CES sues Elon Musk, and with Elon Musk, I didn't want to talk about because this is like after the 20th, but like the when he said Black MAGA, I was watching that live. When he said that, I kind of rolled my eyes because I I kind of knew that people were gonna attach themselves to that, and I didn't want people. They can do what they want, but I didn't want people to to spend their time on that. And I also don't want them to spend time on the salute thing, because that was a salute thing. Whether it's implemented to make you talk about it, or if they actually believe it, but let's not talk about it. But let's not let it happen again. Like, you can do your parades on the street, but like with the immigrant stuff, it's also gonna be like Nazi a little bit, Nazi Germany. But people voted for them, and we didn't vote for Elon Musk or Revet Ramaswamy. We didn't vote for them. Why do we care so much what they're saying? Same with the H1. That's what I'm talking about, like the H1 visas. Like, Elon Musk fired so many people from Twitter and lost so much advertisement revenue. But X, I'm gonna call it X. Like, that is such a, it's stupid, but it's such a simple name, that X. Oh my god. I do want to call it Twitter, but like, I'm calling it X. He fired a bunch of people. I don't know if a bunch of people on Twitter are H1B visas people, but I think they also understand, like, I will send money to my country because the transfer rate is better, the money pay is here overall better, and if I don't go to work, I can lose all this, and they will work harder because they have no choice. But Twitter is still functional. Like, I never liked Twitter. I never understood the UI, so I don't know that much. But the left and right still use it, so I guess it's still functional. Same with replacing labor jobs and white collar jobs. We are training our AI to replace ourselves, I think. Whether it's code or whatever data you're collecting and importing onto a data sheet and presenting. It's we're just training stuff. And same with labor work. I saw a company where they implemented the robotic, maybe had AI, the robot, and also with input of humans. The input of humans was like when it was messing up, I think, but like, I think, oh fuck, I gotta go somewhere, so I'll be faster. Replacing ourselves, and then the AI is already gonna do a multiversal shit where it trains itself in another universe. Marvel Rivals basically shows that people are accepting AI girlfriends, because the first video I saw, like, Marvel Rivals, like, it was like, goddamn, what the fuck. But I think we're just accepting it. And then Black Friday and Christmas being right towards the end of the year, so close to each other, like, it fucks up the quarter shit that we get every single month, because we get it so much later. But like, it's like a manipulation a little bit because of the events that are happening during that time. But it also shows the resilience of the consumer, because let's say 10 years, the data of Black Friday and Christmas shopping, how does that show what has happened in the previous 10 years, I guess? And then people saying it doesn't feel the same, but does the amount that we consume show it? I mean, it's a feeling, but we can still buy stuff and not be connected to the feeling. The dead internet theory, where Facebook has a bunch of dead people's information and profiles. Do the profiles ever get deleted? And how many times can a person die? I forgot the other times we can die, but something about how you die when someone has the last memory of you, and then maybe you also die when Facebook finally deletes your profile. Um, AOC will run for president. AOC will run for president. I don't think getting shot and being the first woman president gives you more of a qualification to be president. And somehow I think tariffs. They say that tariffs makes the population more rich. That tariffs will bring money to the citizens, and then but the cost ultimately gets handed down to the citizen. But with automation and a less population with less kids, how does that negate itself? I think. And then I think that's kind of what I want to talk about between the 1st and 20th. But there's also other shit. Like towards the end, I want to talk about the jobs that I want us to look at. Yeah, it's okay. Meta, Microsoft, Starbucks, BP, LinkedIn, Amazon, FedEx, Tyson Foods, Zillow, Wayfair. I want us to look at these companies and see what are they doing and what has happened in 2024 for them. And I'm also asking, was the Willow chip that good as we said it was? I kind of believe the multiversal thing, but something about how it's trained on something that's for it, how it's trained for something it's designed for. I don't know about that. Maybe it is true, but I want to see. I want to see one. Car repossessions and overstock. I want us to think about that. Oil prices with UK, Canada. I don't know what other country, but U.S. energy is gonna go crazy in a couple years. Oh yeah, U.S. energy, UK energy. I also want us to look at Germany, the UK, South Korea, cause he got imprisoned, right? Like Canada, South Korea, that shit happened. Taiwan chips, Panama, Greenland, Canada, Gulf of Mexico. And I don't know if it is true, but is there data that shows when the U.S. economy is down, other countries' economy goes up, and when their countries are down, does the U.S. GDP or whatever goes up? Like, is that the only reason that we let people handle our money? Like these firms, like they say that they can invest into other countries, but anyone can invest into the S&P. And does China want to bring the U.S. down with them? They've spent money on military property. How much money was lost? Like with property, like I'm kind of thinking like you lose money, but it's not as much money as it actually is. Maybe I don't know. Money, military, and exporting. How old is China? And what are their banks like currently? And also with the Coca-Cola AI, Activision AI, it's basically already here. And countries combined all their gold into a single vault. Maybe it's a single vault. I don't know. And these countries transferred their gold to the U.S. and I think they just transfer the gold from shelf to shelf to pay each other off. And I'm wondering if has there ever been fraud with that? And also the World Cup and the Olympics are going to be held in the U.S. And also want us to think about how nonprofits are turning to profit, and if that should happen, and who the fuck is Mel Gibson and Kid Rock? But besides that,